Hello and welcome to another Drafting with Morgan. I'm Morgan and this is a Legendary Cube Swiss draft. We are waiting on a couple more people, but then we're gonna get some drafting in. Alright, we're back. We had to wait a little bit, but once again with the Legendary Cube, you want to take things like Signets really early. They are the most efficient way to ramp your mana as well as fix your colors. And they're the most efficient because when you play something like a Farseeker or Rampant Growth, you're restricted to green, base green decks, but Simic Signet could go into literally any deck, even a deck that really isn't playing green and blue, as long as it wanted to be a turn ahead. So we're going to go ahead and take the Simic Signet. Other notable cards in here are Turn Burn, which is a fine removal spell, Wear Tear, which is also really good at finding targets for both. Marin has a lot of value. Kamal is a really good way to fill out your ramp deck. Devour Flesh is one of the more efficient removal spells. So yeah, there's some good cards in that pack. Here, Kodama's Reach is one of the better ramp spells. It is green, but in this cube you're not really worried about committing to colors. Like, Simic Signet is probably better than like a Rampant Growth, but Kodama's Reach is definitely the best card in the pack. When it comes to like picking cards early, Keranos is pretty sweet. I like it a lot. Janara is surprisingly good, especially if you can get like a Lightning Greaves on her. There is a Pariah effect in the cube, so Chomano, if you put Pariah on it, Pariah says and damage that would be dealt to you is instead dealt to enchanted creatures, and you prevent all damage that would be dealt to Chomano, but it dies to removal, and there's a lot of removal in the cube. I'm gonna take the Faraway and hope. No, there's a Sorin's Vengeance in this pack too. Like, I want to wield this Hellvault. Hellvault has been doing a lot of good work for me as a removal spell. Sorin's Vengeance is a win condition, though. Faraway is a fine removal spell. It's a thing. I should probably take that before I take Sorin's Vengeance. Probably, but I really like Sorin's Vengeance. Yeah, we'll take Sorin's Vengeance. As far as win conditions go, it's a good one. So we've got Oblivion Ring here, Time Warp is good, Wretched Confluence is good. So in this deck, I probably want Wretched Confluence more than I want Oblivion Ring, but do I want Time Warp more than I want Wretched Confluence? Because I only get one of them, because somebody's probably going to take the other. Blasphemous Act is nice because it's a really decent sweeper effect. It can be kind of inefficient though, because unless you're playing against the green deck, most decks only have 2 or so creatures out at a time. Yeah, I'm going to take the Wretched Confluence as the most versatile card in the pack. So there's a Rampant Growth here, which is pretty decent. Trading Post is fun. I don't really have a lot of artifacts though. Hull Breach is good. It's usually a 2-for-1. Blood Crypt is fine, but yeah, I'm just going to take Rampant Growth here. Take Verdant Catacombs. I could take Nath of the Gilt-Leaf. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent discard a card at random. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token onto the battlefield, which is pretty sweet. Frontier Bivouac is more mana fixing. Maybe I should just take Nath, because there's a good chance I get it out early. Over Verdant Catacombs? Yeah, let's do that. Here, yeah, I'll take a Rakdos Carnarium. We're not really worried about mana fixing, color fixing right now. And Rakdos Carnarium is pretty good with things like Azusa, so we can keep an eye out for that. Door in the Siege Tower, maybe? There's also Arashi Sky Asunder, which is a fine 5/5 for 5. Elbrus is pretty funny. Jaya is probably the best card in the pack. I'm gonna take Doran. Here, I'm just gonna take Wear Tear. It's the best card in the pack. Isolated Chapel's fine. Kamal is pretty good too. Whispers of the Muse is also a good ramp payoff. And Sphinx Bone Wand is pretty good, but yeah, I just want disenchant effects to a reasonable degree. I'm just gonna go ahead and take Rootbound Crag. Saizon is kind of interesting because the 2 life is pretty relevant, but I found that when my opponent plays it, I tend to kill it just right away. Let's see. We have Honden of Cleansing Fire, which is good if you get more Hondens. Obelisk of Alara, which is just pretty good in general. Usually you're using the life gain setting. There's a Temple of Plenty, which fixes our white mana a little bit. I'm just going to take a Honden. Hondens is a pretty sweet plan. I think I'd take a Gruul Turf or like a Swiftfoot Boots over Team Ascendancy or Raise the Redeemed. I'll take a Gruul Turf. Wooded Bastion is a fine piece of mana fixing. Crash is actually kind of reasonable. Alright, so here's the part where we branch out, I think. Factor Fiction is one of my favorite cards in Magic the Gathering, but I think we want Mirari's Wake. Mana doubling is super strong, and this is the first card we've come across with it. Kind of bummed to be passing Foff, but I would love a Mirari's Wake. So we've got Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, another ramp spell. There's also Chainer's Edict and Overgrown Tomb. I think I take Chainer's Edict here. It's really important to pick up removal spells pretty highly because otherwise you're not going to get them at all. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Chainer's Edict. Well, so pure, destroy target multicolored permanent, or simple, destroy all ores and equipment. Pretty similar to Radiant Purge, although they're somewhat different. Mortify destroys target creature or enchantment, so I think I take that over either of the 2 cards, but they're all pretty good. There's a Temple of Silence, which is mana fixing. And God's Willing is something that I'm pretty sure like nobody plays around in this format. It's just like not something you're expecting to come up against. So Chroma's Vengeance is nice because it's a Wrath, and Wraths are pretty important in this format. There's also a Sandsteppe Citadel, Wooded Foothills, Smoldering Marsh. Thada Adele is pretty interesting too. She's very good as a 3-drop. I think I'm just going to take the Sandsteppe Citadel though as the most reliable source of our 3 main colors. Ooh, Mana Reflection. I get 2 mana doublers. Alright, so Mana Reflection differs from Mirari's Wake in that it's 1 mana more expensive. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any type that land produced, versus if you tap a permanent for mana, it produces twice that much mana instead. So if you tap a Simic Signet, it adds green, green, blue, blue, rather than just green, blue. Passing a Stomping Ground and a Dimir Aqueduct, not really super concerned about either. Let's see. There's an Arcane Denial, which is a really good way to protect your things. Flying Trample Haste. Protection from black. So Radiance Judgment, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, or Dismantling Blow, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or Orzhov Basilica are cards that I'm looking at. I think it's Radiance Judgment over Dismantling Blow because I already have Wear Tear. The cycling is pretty nice too. Do I want to move into blue for a card like Careful Consideration? I'm not even sure. Or I could just take the Dragon Skull Summit. No, I think Careful Consideration is the best card in the pack, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Drawing 4 and then discarding 2 is a pretty strong effect in a format where all of your cards are super powerful. I don't want too many lands that come into play tapped, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Rupture Spire. Fixing for any color is pretty important, and I don't really have fetch lands, so I'm not really interested in Prairie Stream right now. So yeah. If I had taken Doubling Season, I might have considered the Marath, because I'm pretty sure that card goes infinite, maybe? No, that's Gav. I could take the Plateau. I could take Tsabo, actually. That seems like a good idea. Protection from legendary creatures. Destroy target legendary creature. It can't be regenerated. Removal on a stick. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, over Plateau, I think I can live with that. Well, we wield the Vorinclex. There's also Kolaghan Storm's Fury, which is pretty good, but I think I just take another mana doubler because it's on theme. We wield Pure Simple, which seems like a good removal spell to me, especially since we're in both of the colors. So, it seems kind of nice. I'm going to take the Legacy Weapon in case we decide that we want to play it. Legacy Weapon, for Wooburg, you can exile target permanent. It's also one of those cards where you get the security of knowing that you won't deck. So if it would be put in the graveyard from anywhere, reveal it and shuffle it into its owner's library instead, which is pretty good. Is you just, well, I mean, it's a little harder than like Beacon of Tomorrows to use, but you can get there. So there's a Maelstrom Wanderer in this pack. Maelstrom Wanderer is probably one of the best cards in the cube. It gives all of your creatures haste, and it has Cascade, which is pretty reasonable. There's a lot of good cards in the pack, actually. Rakdos Signet is one, Cyclonic Rift is another. I would be interested in taking the Honden to go with our Honden of Cleansing Fire, because I think in this deck being able to get a bunch of life is pretty important. Outer End is a very good removal spell, but yeah, I'm just going to take this Maelstrom Wanderer. And we have a lot of sweet stuff to cascade into as well. There's not a lot in this pack for us. There's like a Detention Sphere that we could take, Temple Garden, but overall, not a lot. I think I'm just going to take Detention Sphere as a piece of removal. I think we just want Volk here. Like, Deed's fine, Esper Charm is fine, but we don't really have mana fixing yet, and we should have some. Firebolt's also nice as a piece of removal, but I think we've got, I like Wart a lot. What do we have? We have Pure Simple and like ramp spells. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna take the Boilerworks in that case. I will take a Breeding Pool, I suppose. Eladamri's Call is actually a pretty good one too. Yeah, we're gonna take Eladamri's Call because we have Maelstrom Wanderer. I think I'm gonna just take the Chromatic Star. We don't really want too many lands that come into play tapped, which is what all of the lands in there were doing, in that pack were doing, so. Well, we've got Dragonlord Dromoka, Selesnya Sanctuary, Sunken Hollow, and Tundra. We still don't have a fetch land of any sort. I kind of want the Dromoka. Yeah, I'm going to take that over any of the blue producing lands because it's pretty sweet with like Maelstrom Wanderer. Sure, I'll take a Taiga. That's fine, I guess. I could have taken Progenitus if I really wanted, but I didn't. So, just taking the land. Yeah, we've got a lot of removal. I'm pretty happy about it. Like, that's removal, this is removal, this is removal. So all these are removal. This is removal. This is somewhat removal. So we wield the Honden. We also wield Trop and Rot Farm. I think I'm going to take the Honden. I like Honden of Cleansing Fire. I think it's pretty good. And it goes well with Honden of Infinite Rage. I'm going to take a Fetid Heath here. That's fine. It, again, works really well with Mana Reflection. I'll just take a Temple. I don't really want the Firebolt. I'm going to take Grenzo here. Grenzo is actually a great card for this particular deck because it's it scales really well. So we have 25 spells in here. I think we can cut Doran as a really low impact creature and Chromatic Star. Leave everything else in. We want at least one of each basic. And then an extra 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Maybe an extra black source. Yeah. Maybe we cut one of our lands or add another land, because if we're only playing 6 basics, Rampant Growth and Kodama's Reach could miss. But, yeah, I think we submit. This is an interesting deck. It's got a lot of neat stuff in it, so we'll see how it goes.
Thanks for watching Drafting with Morgan. Make sure to click on the playlist link to watch the full draft, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It was a pleasure drafting with you, and I hope to see you in the next video.